There we go.
What's up, Fight Family? It's live. We're live here with Off Script Sports. Jesse, the voice of the cage green, here with Mario Spider. Correct. Guys, we're here. We're back. It's 2025, and Off Script Sports is proud to have you here. Fight fans, it's been a blessing. 2024 is gone. 2025 is here. It's a new year, a new day, a new opportunity for you to be the best version of yourself. Coming into 2025, we got some lofty goals for the podcast. We want to be great. We want to be here for you. We want to represent the fight fans.
Oh yeah.
And so, most importantly, whenever me and Mario get on this show, we're doing it for you. And I want to talk about Mario, to talk about just some of the things that we're doing in 2025 just to be best, the best version of yourself. When you're looking at your life, when you're looking at your goals, what are some goals that you have for 2025?
Man, the goals are to be go bigger, man. I've had a lot of great opportunities last year when it comes to jumping on films, doing some voice perks, voiceovers, something that you want to get into, of course. So definitely we got to bring you on there, man.
Definitely, definitely. No,
And
absolutely.
but yeah, but I mean, I just want to do what I did last year, but I want to do it bigger. I've been in the regional, just like a regional fighter. They're here
Mhm.
locally. This year, I want to break out of the state. I've already been on a few projects outside the country, but I'm looking at New York. I want to go to New York and network. I want to go to California. And just kind of get my name everywhere, man. But yeah, just get better.
Wow, I'm on that same board. I really want to get into the voice acting or the voice, just being able to just be a voice for everyone. I think it's amazing to know that whenever one's legacy is built on his voice, it's a talent. It's a talent that people have to have. It's a talent that people go and experience those things, especially whenever you're being, the actor.
Yeah.
Whenever you're a young kid, I wonder if you ever thought to yourself that, hey, I'm going to be an actor one day. Did you ever think about that?
Man, I people always ask me what when I started acting, and for me, it was in elementary school. Man, I was always
Mm.
stuck in front of the. We used to do plays, we used to do songs, right? Like in the cafeteria, we had a stage, and it wasn't because I was good at anything, bro, but because growing up here in San Antonio, man, in the '80s, a lot of the kids' names were the best way I can describe it. They were ranchero names, bro. You had like Fernandino, you had Anselmo, names that a lot of the teachers that weren't Hispanic couldn't pronounce. So
Yeah.
Mario rolled off the tongue, so they would always put me up front, and they would always put change the song with my name in it, which was embarrassing as hell. But I mean, I did like 3 or 4 of those, like in elementary school. After that, it embarrassed the hell out of me, so I didn't want to be in the limelight. But yeah, like I mean, when it came to like middle school, high school, I did, I wanted to go to get on theater. I wanted to get on, get into photography, and none of those happened. It didn't happen until after I left school. But yeah, man, I just think the timing was right. My kids were grown out of the house, they're on their own, and
There you go.
I had a lot more time. So, and it's something I don't regret because I got to be dad. I got to be there for them. I got to, there was times when there was a fight going on. Especially, I think I passed up on a UFC fight in Austin one time because my oldest wanted to spend the weekend with me, and I was like, man, I couldn't say no.
Yeah.
So but I'm glad. I'm glad I did. Because I'm close to my kids, so they know I've been there. I'm still there.
No, it's a blessing to just be able to be close to your kids. We look into this in this thing called life, and we're always wondering of the saying that men in general, like if I want to be a provider, if I want to provide for my family, then it's hard for me to be there for them in the time, right? Because I got to work,
Oh
right? Or I can be there for them, but then I'm not going to be away from work, And so living that thin line and having that strong support system at home is extremely important, not only for the development of kids, but for the development of your relationship. It's funny, like we get on time, we get on here, and we're like, hey man, I gotta make time for the wife. I gotta get off of here. I gotta get down because I need to give her and my kids the time that they deserve, which is extremely important. And
yeah,
it's one of the things that I wanted to talk about going into 2025 is building that platform for fighters to be able to do that for them. A passion project of mine that I have is fighters insurance. I want fighters to be able to not worry about covering medicals. I mean, medicals is something that goes a long way in the fighter's career because you need your medicals not only just to fight, but you need those medicals to be healthy. And
Oh yeah.
having a health insurance plan that not only values you but puts you first. I think that's important because you go into a fight, not saying that all promotions have the best insurance, but you go into a fight not knowing you get hurt, things happen, and you're not covered because A, you're a fighter, B, you get punched in the face, C, like you're banking on trusting maybe a policy that just isn't the right fit for the injury that you have. And what I want to do is I want to empower the fighters in 2025. The first quarter of the year is to sponsor or to have 10 to 15 fighters get on a plan that's going to cover their medicals,
Oh yeah.
that's going to cover their health insurance, that's going to give them peace of mind and understanding that they have control of their health. They're not banking on it's great to be able to have the promotion in your back pocket, but it's even more important to be able to take care of yourself,
Yeah.
take care of your family, and be able to provide for the
No, yeah.
longevity of your life.
Let me post this up real quick, man. You got your boy out there, Darius Diamond.
Wow. Darius, man, I appreciate you jumping on.
Yeah.
Medicals get very expensive, but whenever we work as a team, and it's important that we put the team aspect on this of a group plan. I'm looking for a group plan. It's a group of people coming together towards a common cause. As many people as we get in this group, say that the group I can get a group in for 30 people. If I can get the group to go to 120, that saves us all money, right? And looking on that regional circuit, we have way more than 100 fighters on the regional circuit
Oh
that
yeah.
need insurance, that need medicals, that can go to the doctor and be like, I'm hurt, pop, I got it. What can I get fixed? And know that you're covered. Know that, hey, this plan is covered. I got my eyes covered. I got my blood work covered. I've got all this covered because all it is, once you're in the right plan, is paying 20, 30 bucks
Yeah.
in the right plan. I did blood work the other day for free because I'm covered under my insurance plan. And that's the type of things that we need to elevate the sport, to elevate the fighters. To say that you're not out there by yourself. I want to be there. I want to be in your corner. I want to help. I want people to understand that this isn't about any type of grab. This is all about sponsoring the fighters in the area, giving them a platform so that they can have control, so that they can believe in themselves, and so that they have the opportunity to be the best version of themselves at all times. It's evening the playing field.
No, no, I agree, man. Because one of the things, I mean, being in the fight scene, as long as we have, we both seen, the good, the bad, and the ugly. One of them, of course, a fighter doesn't fight for months, maybe a year. They everybody's always asking for physical, so of course they're scrambling the last minute. They're trying to get the doctor for exams, for them to be able to fight. So I mean, for them to have insurance, I mean, it would just put them at ease, not just because of the fight, but I mean they have it in general, So that would be pretty dope.
No, I totally agree. And I know the timer went off right now, but it's most important to know that, just having that, yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, peace
Oh
of mind, peace of mind and working together towards a common cause. And the common cause is just being able to know that if I'm hurt, I can get it fixed.
yeah,
If I'm hurt, I've got this. And working together with a group of people to say that I can. I mean, numbers don't lie. 50 to 30, 40 bucks a month, it's not much to say that I'm gonna be able to be healthy.
yeah,
And that's a commitment that not only can we can look forward to, we can jump on. If you have any more information, guys, if you need more information, follow me, send me a message. I love to help you. I love to watch you grow. I'm certified in the state of Texas to do all of this. We got a great team behind me that wants this program to grow. Fighters, reach out to other fighters. I know how hard it is. I mean, speaking from example, the saying that like Mario mentioned earlier, those fighters that come up 2 weeks, I need medicals.
yeah,
2 weeks, I need this. Oh, I need this. Now you're taking the risk of not only getting checked out by someone who A, just wants to cash a check and is going to charge you $200,
Oh yeah.
and B, somebody who may not even be honest with you because they just want to get it done. And
Yeah.
I'm not about that. That's not what this is about. This is about empowering the fighters. It's about taking them to the next level. If you need information, guys, pull ahead. We'll talk about this every show, but I'd
Yeah.
love to have you guys on. I'll have fighters on just to jump on that. Send me an inbox message. But we got to get into the first topic of the day. And I
Yes.
think it goes into what we were talking about, and it astonishes me about then how like these people come to power. But I mean, right now we're looking at Dana White joining Meta's board weeks before Donald Trump takes office. He loves to jump into a board position on the Meta. To jump into it, man. Let me know, what do you got about this? What fill us in?
For me, it says a few different things, man. It's telling me personally that maybe Dana White's gonna step away from the UFC. I don't know why. That's the first thing that popped in my head. I was thinking, well, maybe he's looking for something else for him to fall on. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but for him to jump on something like that, I mean, he is going to be a board member, so I get it. There's got to be a board for everything everybody discusses as far as rules and regulations and what's coming up, But the thing that caught me also was that they're gonna be getting rid of fact checking or fact checkers. I don't know if that's why they're getting rid of it, because Dana White. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be doing fact checking or if he's just going to be helping control, everything that goes on social media, man. But it was just an odd move, I mean, it happened, so I'm curious to see what happens next. I mean, he mentioned the whole AI, and if that's where it's going, then I'm sure he's just covering himself.
No, absolutely. I do agree with everything you said, just about having control of the AI, or just taking more control of truth
Yeah.
and how the truth you speak. But I mean, when you donate $1 million to someone's campaign, to Trump's campaign, granted, guys, first and foremost, I'm bipartisan. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I just want people in office that have the respects and values for our country. I really, 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 really.
Let me throw this up there real quick, man. Your boy's still out there.
Oh
Now,
wow!
I would on that, man. I think it's the whole oversaturated thing. I mean, back in the day, and this was like years ago, man. It wasn't even that far back. But I mean, everybody's like, "Oh man, they should have a fight every week," and everybody was for it. And now that they're doing it, I mean, of course, there's enough fighters in their roster. They got enough people with bodies who, and I'm glad that they're able to keep them busy. But it's just like when it's happening so much, and it's like you need an app for this, you need to pay extra for this, you need to download this. I mean, there's so much confusion, like for me, like every time people are like, oh, UFC this weekend, I'm like, damn, really, again? Like, I mean, it happens so much that I lose track of it. It's just I,
I have to disagree. I love it. I love the fights every weekend. I love knowing that so many people are getting an
oh yeah,
opportunity to
yeah,
be
by all
just to
means.
be great. Because just think, if it were less shows, there'd be less fighters that get paid. There'd be
Oh,
less
definitely.
activity, and activity is key. Granted, we don't get to see the greats unless they get on the pay-per-views. We're seeing these uppercomers. We're seeing the people advance to the regional circuit. Just think about like the fighters that we have in Fury, the fighters that we have coming up in LFG. We have all of these fighters getting an opportunity, and the
Oh yeah, yeah,
opportunity and it's there. Is it saturated? Yes, but no,
see,
because it's
well,
the only
let me
platform that there has.
Yeah, let me backtrack with that. I mean, when I say oversaturated, I mean for me it was more the hassle of downloading everything and paying extra. I mean, I don't do all that, man. I mean, there's no way, as it is now. I have one internet and one TV or a couple of TVs, but I mean, it's like I don't need extra buttons. I don't need extra, and I'm
Extra
old, so
cost.
of course,
No,
like I just want on off button and that's it. So for the fact that they're like, oh, this card is going to happen on this, and I'm like, damn, well, I don't have it, so I guess I'm not watching it. I mean, and that's
no,
what happens.
okay. From that standpoint, it just being expensive to be a fan,
Yeah.
that's what you're saying, and I
Oh
and
yeah.
I and I wholeheartedly believe that it is expensive to be a fan whenever you're having to shell out close to, I don't know, let's just throw a number, $2,800 every month, every year to watch fights.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. I don't know. Even if you go to the ESPN Plus subscription, granted, I'm not sure if they're going to be on ESPN. Talks are they're moving to Netflix.
Oh yes, yes. With WWE making the move and being under the same parent company, man, I think it's gonna happen.
I think it's smart because you actually have control. You wouldn't
Oh yeah,
believe how much you have control.
but yeah, but I mean, with that being said, man, I mean, yeah, I mean, when it's oversaturated now, I mean, I had UFC Fight Pass for a reason, and it's because I wanted to watch the regional promotion, support those fighters, and of course, make it to the big show. I mean, whether it's the UFC, overseas with ONE FC or whatever they decide to, PFL still in the mix. I mean, Bellator's still happening. I mean, of course, on a smaller scale, but there's still options. But when it comes to the Super Bowl of MMA, of course, UFC's out there.
Absolutely. But more importantly, talking to finish, talking about Dana White joining into the Meta universe, I think that's actually going to be something that's going to be positive. I don't think he's going to go away. My final point is I don't think he's going to go away from his cash cow because the UFC runs itself. It's like one of those organic businesses now to whether he only really needs to show up to show face.
Yeah.
He doesn't match the fights. All he does is show up. He has literally the best promotion job possible. Yeah. He's not a matchmaker. He's just the face of the program, and he's going to be able to continue to jump on that.
No,
I think that's super, super important for them. All right. So, excuse my dog barking in the back. Buckwheat is my dog. I love my dog. He's Buckwheat is the Ken Corso. So
he's a fight fan. That's what it is, man. He's sure too.
He's a big boy. Here's Daddy. Here's me yelling and screaming, and he thinks that it's time to go outside. But we'll get him outside as soon as we can. But jumping to the next subject, we were talking about things to talk about and fight leagues, and the one league that stood out the most in this conversation that we were talking about was the Pillow Fight Championship. The Pillow Fight Championship, for people that do not know, is the Pillow Fight Championship is the world's first professional pillow fighting league, featuring professional fighters engaging in intense, fast-paced, and all-age-friendly combat, unrivaled by any other professional sports and entertainment or fighting organization. From the looks of it, these two people get into what looks like to be a regular-sized boxing ring, and they bar at each other with pillows. Mario, what you got?
Man, first off, I think I want to match you up against Darius, man. I think he just called you out, bro. I might be wrong, but
wow. So listen, the Pillow Fight Championship. If we can get people in the ring, we're gonna sell a ticket, baby, and we can sell a ticket with the Pillow Fighting Champions. Because I can only imagine how heavy these pillows are. But this takes us back to the day that we were kids. We used to be in Granny's Pop. And the pillows were made of cotton, and we were just throwing blows like it was 1999 and everything went down. This was the time that brings back nostalgia. It brings back childhood. It brings back so many great memories of just being a kid. Yeah. But these things get like the rules and regulations of it are not like something to play with. It says that you can swing, pull at full force.
Yeah.
You can dodge and avoid strikes to the head. You can have showmanship into the fight. You can perform special moves as defined, but you can only strike with the pillow.
Yeah.
And hold all straps with one hand. So one-handed pillow slaps go. The things you can't do in pillow fighting. You cannot hit the opponent with any part of your body.
Yeah.
You can't drop your pillow at any time. And do not grab your opponent or their pillow. No pushing or charging. No two-handed overhead strikes.
Man.
This is something that I think someone sat down in a room with a closed door and locked themselves in the room, had a little bitty light on, and said, let's make a new sport. And pillow boxing was invented. Because when you look at their scoring, the teams, the rules, they're organized. It's extremely organized. 1 point for a strike to the head. 360-degree strike to the head is 3 points. A full knockdown is 5. A leg strike or an unbalanced strike is at 1 point. So these guys are just imagine, like, this is something that Floyd Mayweather would not be good at.
Look at that, man.
Y'all are being defensive and saying that I get points for just tearing you up like I was Bruce Lee's kid. It's something to look forward to. It's something to grow. It's something that could be in the next money-making business in Texas.
Let's do it.
Pillow fighting is what it
Let's
is.
do it, man. Let's introduce it to the state and see if we can get it going. Now we'll get a pillow sponsor. We'll get a, you know. And I was gonna say this, man. When that first came out, my first thought was like, man, they should do that at work, at your workplace. Like every 2 hours, they should ring a bell, and you should be able to just
slap somebody with a pillow,
man. Yeah, just to let some of that frustration out, you know.
I just see HR not taking that very well. I can only imagine.
They get hit too, bro.
the HR gets hit, people get hit, everybody gets hit. But when I'm actually was watching this 3-minute video on pillow fighting, and the pillow looks really strong. I'm not gonna lie to you, the pillow is something to write home about. Like it's something that will make you be like, oh, Jesus Christ! Like boom, 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 get knocked out by a pillow. Imagine that. When that comes to the States, I'm not sure how it'll take it in the States, but be on the lookout because we love our corny sports, we love our corny fights, we love everything about it. Which leads us right into our next topic, and this is the one that I thought was probably the highlight of the show was the Dirty Boxing Championship. With I guess it's Conor McGregor, Mike Perry is a co-owner or was a co-owner. He didn't really lead much into it. I guess after he got knocked out by Jake Paul, Conor McGregor banned him or fired him or did whatever he needed to do to him. I don't know how you get fired if you're the owner of anything, but I mean,
I think didn't they drop Conor McGregor from BKFC?
No, they did. They dropped him from the whiskey. I know they dropped him from the whiskey, but I think that he was actually an owner of the Dirty Boxing. Him and Mike owned it together.
Oh, yeah, put some money on it.
And so I think that whenever Mike lost to Jake, it's really when it went sour. He was like, you can't knock somebody out without gloves on. Like, because I think he was in the BKFC, and whenever he was in the BKFC, he had that brutal knockdown. Yeah. Like and it was brutal. It was like, man, this guy's maybe back, and Mike Perry might have just found the thing that he's good at, right? Yeah. Something that he's good at, because he's not good at grappling. He's not he's that overall brawler, the guy you wouldn't want to be locked in a phone booth with, right? We'll talk about phone booth boxing later. But Mike Perry is one of those guys that I would not want to be locked in a phone booth with because he's walking out. But the Dirty Boxing League, it states that it's a new league made for the fans, bringing you an exciting rule set that you've never seen before. More action, more finishes, no bullshit. And that's on their website, which is really odd because it's a quote from Mike Perry, who tells us it's time to get dirty. But he's growing in. But some of the things about this Dirty Boxing League that stand out are 5-ounce gloves. You can ground and pound, no grappling or submissions, but you will be allowed to strike a downed opponent, which is kind of cool, right? And 18 foot,
keep it from being boring, man.
I mean, that boring. I think that's deadly. Somebody gets. I mean, I just would really want to know. I guess these are in weight classes, so it is essentially under their own submission. But getting ground and pounded without gloves on, bro, is a dirty, 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 dirty sport. They're going to run with an 18-foot vintage wing. The focus of the night is going to be on finishing. Finishing is what it's about. Finishing is what we're going to look at, very similar to the BKFC's rule set in that format, to where there's no grappling, no kicking, no submissions, only punching, open palm strikes, elbows. Keep the fights exciting at all times. One of the other things that stood out were the Dirty Boxing Championship has simplified the rules to produce the purest form of combat. They're a fighter-first league with talent-first focus with emphasis on safety and fair play. A league by the fighter for the fighters who want to go. So I'm interested to see just how this would take off. Like the BKFC rule set, it is very hard to get that rule set. How do you say it? Legalized in the state. Like it's really hard for me to really wrap my head around Texas just and the commission approving it here in the state. Like you got approved in Nevada. Nevada made a mistake and put up slap boxing, right? That was a huge mistake. Talk about that in a little bit. But I mean, like, but this is just the same thing for BKFC. I mean, it's just that, but it's so clean. The combat is so brutal. Like the brain doesn't really take a lot of damage because once it gets rocked, you're out. There's no more. Like the fight's over. Like you're done. I think that is maybe a healthy way of just being able to fight. Like, if my kid told me, "Hey, I want a bare knuckle fight or I want to box," wouldn't be mad about him bare knuckle fighting because he's gonna get his ass beat up and go to sleep, or he's gonna fucking just in boxing, he's
No,
gonna have to take that damage, and taking that damage is not where we want to be.
you see, and like their first event, I mean, it went down in Miami, Florida, of all things. I mean, which is not a bad thing. I mean, the guys from out there. I mean, I'm sure he's got connections out there. I mean, the main event on that one was Joel Romero against Dwayne Crespo. Now, Dwayne came in with a 0-2 record. First off, he
Mhm.
fought a UFC vet and got floored like in the first round. So, I mean, of course, he threw in a big name just to kind of get momentum, but I don't think it got that much momentum, bro. I don't know.
I don't think he got any momentum. I think first
Yeah.
off, a guy was out there. What did the guy Romero say? He called out somebody and was like, "Hey, you down for a 30?" He sent the tweet and messed it up and put like an N whenever the N was not supposed to be there.
Oh, I didn't
And
even
it
see
was
that.
it was
Oh,
it
damn.
was terrible. Like he was like, "Hey, you down for dirty bucking or something like that?" And everyone laughed about it. It was pretty funny. But it was one of those things. I just don't know. Like the atmosphere is like a smoker. Does that make sense?
No,
Like,
yeah, yeah. You see, that's what I was
I
gonna
felt
say.
like that was like a smoker. Like they were just there and there was smoke all over the ring, people coming out, like there's cigars. Imagine it being 1922 and there were just thousands of dollars just being laid around. People were just betting all over the place.
No
And
job. The
yeah,
people are
like no job,
fighting to
no,
be
it's
paid.
just boom. And that's the feeling that when I think about dirty boxing, it's dirty rules. But
Oh yeah.
the rule set seems pretty straight. They got, I guess, another show. I'm not sure when the next show is coming up.
No,
But they're
no.
sponsored by some
You see, I think my
overseas
my
people.
neighbor dogs are actually fans of dirty boxing. I think they're out there
Oh,
howling,
I
man.
hear them. There you go. They're crying, man. They love it, baby. They gotta say that dirty boxing is where it's at,
No, yeah.
and that's where it's trying to be. Which leads us into our last topic of the day, or our second to last topic of the day: slap boxing. Slap boxing is one of the things that have been evolutionized or transformed the way that we watch combat sports. In a couple, I guess last year, 2 years ago, it was legalized in the state of Nevada where the UFC took control of it. But when I watched these guys and I watched the impact of some of these fights, it is something to watch. It is something to be amazed about. Man, tell me about how you feel about slap boxing.
Man, well, first off, I wouldn't do it. You know, I don't think my whole life, I don't think I've ever been slapped by another man, or I don't think I've ever slapped another man. So I mean, that's kind of it's just not my thing. I mean, the fact that it picked up some momentum, and I think it's other than the Dana White slap fighting. There's others out there. I think there's like two or three other ones that started doing it as well. But it's just, I
Mhm.
mean, it's not my forte, man. It's I had actually interviewed someone a while back that had competed in it, and I mean, people enjoy it. So if that's their thing, then I'm all for it. I will say this: I'm more of a fan of that than I am against those two women versus one man thing. That's trash, bro. But
Oh yeah,
slap fighting, I'd rather watch that than anything else.
I think they put that on. That was when they were doing that overseas, right? A lot of the stuff doesn't get regulated in the
Oh
states, but
yeah,
like we get to
no,
see it,
no.
and it's crazy. But I do think that slap boxing is actually one of those things that's kind of like a 2 minute boom second. I just think that these guys get brutalized. I watched the top 23 think slaps earlier today when I was doing research on or talking about today, but I got a chance to watch the top 23 slaps, and the impact that they're making was
Oh,
something to watch. To say that the impact on the
yeah,
face and the pressure, and then the getting hit by a 200-mile-per-hour car, it's just
yeah,
something that I guarantee you that there is a promoter somewhere somehow that's
they're
gonna
like,
want to put that on, because I'm just saying, like, it doesn't seem like overhead costs be much of anything.
dang.
So I just think that It just needs to get regulated in the state. It's
No,
something
yeah,
I can get behind. I'm just saying. You can
there's
put that anywhere, buddy.
the
You can put that.
those that are competing out there on it or on that promotion. I mean, they train like it, they train for it, man. They work that arm, they work certain movements just to be able to get more speed, be more accurate.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, and then I mean, I've seen it and I've watched it just to kind of like, okay, see what happens or what they do. And I mean, some people are out there getting knocked the hell out, dude. So I mean, the impact's freaking strong.
No, I mean, I was watching this one dude get hit, and he had a beard the size of freaking
Oh yeah.
forever. And I'm watching this dude in the blue, like he just reached back like he was reaching back to Mars or reaching back to Uranus and punched him. Like, and the guy just stood there, brushed it off. Like I'm like, man, did the beard really protect you like that?
Yeah,
No,
no, yeah. I think that's why I'm gonna keep growing
it
mine.
really
'Cause I
protect
don't
you. Like
know,
I'm
man.
just saying, like it
And
could be.
somebody comes up, tries to slap me.
No, I mean, you never know. Right, walk up, get done up. Though, don't forget it
Yeah.
is right here. Is which is going to lead us to one of the nastiest things that we've been talking about today. It's some craze that's been going around in Russia right now. They like to call it phone booth boxing. Phone booth boxing is something where it's similar to where that it is what it is. Two guys get locked into a phone booth. They locked into that phone booth, and when they're in that phone booth, the person that gets knocked out is the person that doesn't walk out. Uh, How do you feel about that? Uh-oh. We look like we may have lost the sound a little bit. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick 2-minute commercial. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna thank some sponsors. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes.
Here we go. Here we go. Had a little mishap, so of course appreciate everybody that's jumped on here. Once again, Off Script Sports. I mean, we are on Facebook and Instagram, and I wait for Jesse to jump back on right quick so we can wrap this up. And appreciate everybody that's jumped on. I mean, of course, myself, here in San Antonio, Texas, Jesse Green, voice of the cage out there in Houston, doing this thing. And for those that are out there, of course, man, on Facebook, Instagram, we are Off Script Sports. We're going to be chopping it up once a week. Try to get news, hopefully in due time, man. I mean, some of you fighters that have been, messaging and jumping on here, we appreciate you. And of course, can bring you on here and get a little interview going, talk about fights coming up, talk about other stuff that's on here. And but yes, and I think Jesse's calling, man. We're not taking any calls right now, guys. Give me a second. But yeah, if you have a fight coming up, or you want to talk about sponsors, you want to talk about other projects, then by all means, we can get a lot of things going, a lot of things situated, and promotions. These fights coming up, there's going to be a lot of stuff going up, guys. So if you're in it, definitely drop us a comment. Go to the page. You can contact Jesse, Green himself. Message me, and we can get something going. But for the most part, we're gonna keep doing this till we run out of content, which hopefully won't happen anytime soon. But I know I've talked to a few fighters already. Jesse himself has talked to a few, so we definitely want to bring you guys on here and talk, promote, get a few things going, and see what comes up. I mean, I know I would love to be able to play matchmaker. I mean, not that we are one, but throw some names out there. Let's get some of you guys that wouldn't mind competing against a certain individual, or maybe run back a fight. I mean, there's one coming up in Corpus that's actually that I'm looking forward to, man. There we go. Let me situate this real quick, guys. But let me wait for Jesse to jump on. As stated earlier, I mean, myself, I've been in the fight game since 1999. This is before I guess the whole MMA term came about. But I mean, when it comes to combat sports, I'm definitely a fan. I'm always supporting. I mean, whether it's kickboxing, boxing, grappling, jiu-jitsu, no gi. And that's one of the things I wanted to bring up as well. We have our buddy out there in Houston, Frank the Tank. He's going to be bringing his promotion down here to San Antonio or Somerset, South San Antonio. He's going to be out there with the guys, Ray the Josh Rodriguez. They're going to be having their own promotional event, which I'm going to see if we can plug this in today, if not next week. But I would also like to bring on Frank the Tank and see if we can get him on here and chop it up real quick. All right, guys, here we go. Jesse's going to be jumping back on, and he's on. My man, bro. How are you, brother? Sorry about that. I had a little hiccup, man.
We all have hiccups. I had a hiccup too. Shit, I got to get going. My dog decided. I thought that was my.
No, bro. But yeah, man, I was just letting everybody know, man. I mean, of course, with our social media plugs, and also, man, hopefully, we'll see. I mean, what do you think, man? Next week, maybe bring on a fighter. You want to interview somebody next week? Think I lost the volume on that one, bros. There we go, guys. But yeah, man. I mean, hopefully, we'll be talking about that, and hopefully get somebody in here next week. If there's a fighter, if there's somebody that wants to jump on and go over what's coming up this year. Maybe you got a fight coming up. Maybe you're available and you want promotions to be able to contact you. Then we can do that as well. We can definitely plug you in, get you out there, and try to get the most of it. But I appreciate everybody. I don't know if Jesse will be able to jump back on, my man, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up if that's okay. All right, man. Everybody out there, of course, once again, Spider, Off Script Sports.